All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome to Impact Marketer. Today's guest is founder and CEO of multiple agencies. He got his first entrepreneurial bug when he was 11 years old, when he wanted to buy a cell phone. He took $40 he had saved from his grandma to buy phone cases and toys until he turned it to $300 to purchase a Nokia cell phone. Retail arbitrage became his first profitable side hustle. And as every new entrepreneur does, he took that money and he put it into something he thought would be profitable, which was stocks, and he lost it. He kept losing thousands of dollars before he realized that he needed to change his focus. Even at such a young age, he was bright enough to realize and see trends around him and started selling fidget spinners, and they caught fire. He had amassed an army of kids selling his toys across 4 different high schools and used that success to catapult his new startup called Evercent, which he later sold the tech to L'Oreal. He now runs Fisma, a 120-person and growing full-service digital agency, and Refisma, a real estate-specific tech and marketing agency that builds out IDX for real estate agents. He's been featured in Voyage Atlanta, Kivo Daily, and Gwinnett Daily Post. He has a 100 million follower network, grosses 3.5 billion views per month, and is about to hit a 6-figure per month agency. And on top of it all, he's 17 years old. Please help me and welcome Faiz Imran.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show for sure, Ronnie. Always nice to do stuff with you.
Appreciate you being on, brother. All right, man. So, you talked about one of your biggest struggles right now is your age. So I'm curious.
Not
okay,
anymore.
okay. I was gonna say, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Why not?
So now I'm 17, still not 18. So it does fuck with me that I can't buy stuff under my own name on my credit card yet. Because if I had my own credit score, it'd be insane. But I use my dad's credit. I built it up, and he has because of me, I have unlimited cards with unlimited credit. Ronnie, you referred me to one of them.
Yeah.
I have all this stuff, but it's not on my name. So I'm spending years of time and money into building my dad's credit up in a sense. I mean, he's living because of it, but I turn 18 next year, so I'm authorized user and I've done all the things I could. So hopefully I can build that. But besides that, my age for now, everything's perfect. Because when I first started, people would not take me seriously. People would block me, stop talking to me, just laugh at me and tell me to go back to where I'm supposed to be, get in my place. And they don't do that anymore because of the results and me staying quiet, building up the agency and coming out now. And what's crazy is there was one guy, he was building up a crazy agency. And I reached out to him for help. And I was like, hey, maybe we could work together and this and this. And he didn't believe me and started going crazy, asking me for results. I sent him results. He said those were fake and they were real. But the funny thing is now that agency just got shut down. They don't have any money. They went bankrupt. And he came back asking me for a job.
How did that feel?
I mean, I'm a nice person, and if you know me personally, you'll know I do things even though I'm not supposed to. So I was like, I'll see where I can help you out. But for the most part, I was just shouldn't have underestimated me. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say. But because back then, I called myself a project manager and not the CEO.
Yeah, can you get into that story a little bit, man? So
it's I had a potential client. It was going to be my biggest first client. He's a rapper. He's verified, and he's cool and everything. I loved his music. We did 3-4 meetings, or I think 2 or 3 meetings, my bad, yeah. And then the 3rd or the 4th meeting, I was supposed to get him to sign. He was ready. And then he found out my age because I had mentioned it before. And he ghosted me, and then I think he blocked me. And there's just a huge thread of text. Hey, you wanted to sign? What's up? Hey, just following up. And he just keeps leaving me on scene or doesn't reply. And I was like, damn. And then that really pushed me from there to, humble myself, pull my ego aside, and just be like, this is for the business, not for myself. I started calling myself a project manager. And on LinkedIn to date, there's 2.5 years, I was a project manager of my own company. Just so people would think, as a kid, he just interning, he's a project manager. But there's real people. There's a bigger boss backing the company and securing their money. I did that, built up my portfolio to some crazy numbers. And recently we hit we almost hit 6 figures consistently, but we're shooting for 6 consistent figures a month next year, but we're up there for sure. And now I'm now it's the time. My portfolio is big enough. The agency is big enough. We have enough people full-time hired, part-time hired. I'm going to come out as the owner because if you don't want me, fuck you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, either you want my work or you don't want it. And I'm not going to fight for it at this point, because at this point, it's like, I know my value, right? So it doesn't make sense for me to put down my value just to take on somebody who doesn't see the value, because there's a lot of people that do see the value.
So when you had to make that decision to put yourself as project manager, did you see your value at that time?
I did. I knew my value. I was like, because that's the only reason I did it. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't, if I hadn't seen my value, because I understood what I'm offering. And I'm like, I offer it to these people. They're going to fall in love with the product. And after I made myself a project manager, I accidentally did this huge thing that literally led to the success of my agency. I made sure my clients got attached to the value and the product or what we deliver to them, and not me. And a lot of agency owners make that mistake, or even in a lot of businesses, if your client gets attached to you as a person versus what you deliver in your product, you're never going to be able to scale. Like, I'll tell you, you're never, ever going to be able to scale, because you're going to get to a certain number amount, and then you're going to try to go on vacation, or you're going to try to move out of that area of the business to grow it. And they're going to be like, where's Faiz? Or where did this person go? I want to talk to them. Versus them thinking I'm a project manager and then being attached to my developers' work, the work that we provide to them, the value we give them. They didn't care who did it. They just love the work.
So how do you actually, what's the step-by-step process to make sure your clients fall in love with the product or service and not you?
With that, you got to do research. Make sure you're not, to sell, sometimes you have to sugarcoat and exaggerate. But literally, if you sugarcoat and exaggerate, you're going to fuck yourself over. In this scenario, what we always, we pride ourselves in doing this, we under-promise and over-deliver. With that, they love the work, right? We set clear expectations so they know what they're going to get, and then we deliver over that. Which a lot of people are like, we're going to get you 1,000 follows, and then they can't even pull 100. We're like, we're going to get you 1,000 follows, and we pull them, 2,000, 3,000. So something like that. And we're honest. I feel like so many businesses in this era are not honest businesses. They're scamming their customers. They're not doing them a positive value service. So what we do is we make sure the client is happy with the results. If they're not, we either usually we don't even take the project on unless we know we're going to deliver. For some reason, if they're not happy, they get their money back. We make them happy, or somehow we work something out. So being an honest business helps.
Yeah, I think it all ties back to, again, you seeing the value in what you offer. Because I think when you're starting out, you're not really sure of that value.
Yeah, if you don't believe that you can actually offer the client a valuable service, you're going to be hesitant selling it, number one. So I'd be surprised if you even sold something. And if you do sell something, you're scamming people at that point. Because you're selling them something it's not going to work.
Yeah, no, 100%. So how did you get over that when you started? Because I'm sure you were there too.
I was like, shit, will this work? But I was doing the work for free. There was nothing for anybody to lose. I went up to these businesses, family, friends originally. I feel like that's how everybody should start, right? Everybody throws baby showers, but nobody starts a little convention thingy. Nobody throws a party for a new business. And I did that for myself in a sense. I texted everybody on my contacts. I hit up everybody. And I know, Ronnie, you've heard of this before too. But this is how you do it. You hit up everybody. You're like, hey, I'm doing this. I'll do it for free. Just give me a few referrals if you like the service. And they're like, yeah. Free always works. Why would you say no to free if somebody's saying I'll grow your business? It's literally risk free.
Dude, I've never heard this story. You threw a business party?
Oh, yes. You have baby showers. I threw a business shower. I was like, I started a new business. Who wants free services? And everybody's like, me. And I'm like, bet. And that was my original portfolio from there.
Oh my God, that's amazing, man. Oh, I've never heard of that in my life. All right, so again, the whole trend conversation, I'm going to really try to nail you on this because I'm trying to figure this out myself. How do people realize trends, right? So that is not a normal thing what you did. So how did you get that idea?
For which one? For the business shower?
The business shower, yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I was just like, because I need to get a lot of people in the room. I wanted a domino effect. People were like, oh, and they talk to each other, realize the value. How did I do it? I texted a lot of people. I made a group chat. I was like, hey, why don't we all just meet at this place? We all met at that place and we just threw a mini reunion party. I don't even know what it was. It's just we made something up. And from there, I had a few projects. that they wanted. A few of web design, a few of them was ads, and one of them was social media. So we just went from there.
Okay, so essentially host a gathering event, a social event, let them know what you're doing, that it's free.
And
All
if
you're
they
asking
don't
is for
know,
referrals.
like, that's fucked up. Like, you should know who you are. It's like if you had a kid, or you were gonna have a kid, or your wife was having a kid, or whatever you want to do, if they didn't come to your baby shower and you were close to them, you just be like, damn. Like, you have no remorse. You didn't even apologize. You didn't, like, they'd at least text you, sorry I couldn't make it. You know, blah 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 blah. So same thing for this. And I mean, you can guilt trip them too. Just be like, this is my baby right here, dude. And you don't want to like support me and to bring me into the world, and they're just gonna be like, shit. So I mean,
bro, you gotta be sharing that on social. You gotta be teaching the strategy. Like, that is.
Dude, a lot of people tell me I should be doing a podcast teaching. Why am I not a guru? Because my shit works. Why would I give it to you for free? If I had the Krabby Patty formula right now, I would not give it to you. And I do have the Krabby Patty formula. Why do you want it? Like, it works. Y'all gonna have to like make your own formula, because you can have my recipe, but your sauce is not gonna taste the same. Like,
sure.
So
on that note, why are you so scared to share it then, if you know that's true?
Somebody's gonna be there, and they're gonna be like, they're actually gonna follow exactly what I say, and that shit's gonna work. And it's not like I'm scared. It's just there's so much fake information out here. I'm waiting for this entrepreneur era. Like, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, putting in their bio. Everybody has it, even though they don't even know what they're doing, and they have like 45 different descriptions. Hey, I do construction, I do Forex, I do marketing, you've seen that, Ronnie. Like, there's so many like fake, there's like a fake idea of what an entrepreneur is. Once that dies down and like natural selection, like, you know, really hones in on who the real entrepreneurs are, I'm willing to help those people. But anytime, if anybody DMs me, I always help them for free. They always go, damn, dude, you've helped me more than like people I've paid to help. And they still haven't helped me the way you've helped me. But I have no issue with helping people. It's just I want to help the right people.
Well, when you were starting out, like, I'm sure you felt like a lost entrepreneur too. Did you not?
No, because see, I didn't even realize what the word entrepreneur was until I identified myself. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I do. So it's like I was selling phone cases, doing this hoverboard stuff, fidget spinners, and I didn't realize what the word entrepreneur was. I was just like, I'm a business person. I'm a businessman. Like, and to me, what that meant was I conduct business. I like really honed in on the word entrepreneur and calling myself entrepreneur after the startup, because everybody in the startup space was like, shit, you're one of the youngest entrepreneurs I've seen. And I went and Googled that word, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I am an entrepreneur. Like, see, it's like I adapted the identity, not like, it's not like I just wanted to call myself that and then figure out what I'm doing. I did something and then was like, hey, this is what I should call myself, because I'm doing the definition of that word.
For sure. And that startup you're referencing is Evercent, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you walk me through what happened with that?
Oh, okay. So I think I have one over there, but I mean, you can maybe add a picture to it, but pretty much it's a device. It's like this big. You could wear it as a necklace, put it on your purse, on your belt buckle, but it was essentially like an air freshener for the person. So it's as you'd move, it released the scent and it'd make you smell good. So you're constantly smelling great. With that, it was a marketing play. I didn't realize it was a marketing play until after. I did it on Kickstarter because I knew I'd get a lot of traction and visitors that I would never gotten on my own website. If I had a website, I didn't know about ads. Like, it wasn't as popular back then, or maybe I just didn't know about it. But I didn't know of that. So I was like, Kickstarter already has a base of, hundreds of thousands of millions of people that come on every day watching cool videos. Because even I did that. When I was younger, I just thought it was like, these cool gadgets and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to launch it on there. It's going to give me visibility and reach to people that I normally wouldn't have. And then hopefully it'll pick up. I did exactly that. I spent all the money I've made from the other stuff that I still had left over that I hadn't lost to stocks. Because I stopped, investing in the stocks. But all the money I had left, I put into getting a video made, bought a 3D printer, made the prototypes myself. I did all this stuff myself, watching YouTube videos and just teaching myself. It was ready to go. I launched the Kickstarter campaign. A few days into it, it was halfway fulfilled. And I was like, shit, it's actually working. The crazy thing was I never had an actual production plan. My whole plan was I'm going to get the money and I'm going to figure this shit out. I had no actual way of making them in mass. Like, I just had a 3D printer and I was like, I can maybe 3D print like a lot of them, but not thousands. So I got lucky on that one, honestly. They called me. They were like, yo, stop stop the campaign. We want to license it. And this was a licensing company that hit me up. I paused the campaign and I wrote, we'll be back or something. It still says canceled if you were to go check it out today.
I did.
It doesn't make sense. It's just like canceled halfway funding and it had like a lot of days left, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks left. It would have worked for sure. But yeah, so I canceled it. We started talking with them and they were like, send us the products. And they worked out their weird licensing deal or whatever with themselves. But they showcased it to companies like L'Oreal and like other big companies that would possibly be interested in buying it. And now they license it out for me and then they pay me royalties.
Got it. Nice, man. So it sounds like your Kickstarter thing, that's pretty organic. Like, was there really a strategy behind that?
Freestyle Minute, watching what I learned off of YouTube. There was this guy on YouTube I used to watch. I did run ads on Instagram, but it wasn't to the extent that it is now. It wasn't overhyped, oversold. There was not that much information on it. All I knew of was I'm going to target people that are interested in fragrance. And there's a company, Scentbird. So essentially my product did what Scentbird did. It did it better. Scentbird is just a box you carry around. Mine is a smaller box that automatically releases scent. I was like, it's a no-brainer. And I think it's way cheaper. And you can fill it up yourself. So I targeted those people, followers of their companies and stuff. I got some traction from there. It led them to a landing page. From that landing page, they went to my Kickstarter campaign. So essentially what growth hackers are doing now, I did before it was like a term that everybody knew. So I didn't even know I was doing it, but that's essentially what I did. Can
you walk me through what you mean by growth hackers that are doing now?
You know how people, for example, put one product, let's use, those face suction thingies that people are drop shipping nowadays?
Like the charcoal things?
Let's use that, for example. The charcoal mask, they're drop shipping. They get that one product, they make a social media page around it. They run ads to a certain audience. That audience clicks on the ad, goes to a landing page where they get sold on the product, and then they get directed to a link to buy. And then it gets shipped. So I did essentially that through the Kickstarter platform. And I tried to scale it as much as I could before, I got contacted by that company and I canceled.
So what would have happened if you didn't get bought out?
I was ready for the journey, dude. I was like, I'm going to go to China. I'm going to go to like all these countries, get this shit sourced. But I reach out and everybody's like, we can't work with this material. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they're like, who designed it? Who engineered it? I'm like, me. They were like, you're an engineer. I'm like, not, but like, I don't know. I just got lucky with that one. It was like, but if it would have went through, I would have, and I set it up on purpose in a way, for example, if I cancel the funding, they got their money back. Because like I said, the honest business value was instilled in me. I never wanted to scam anybody or make my money by taking advantage on people. So there's two types of ways you can set up a Kickstarter campaign. One is if it doesn't get funded, you keep all the money. And one is if it doesn't get funded, they get it back. I selected the one where they get it back. Right? So I was going to attempt to use the money. I was going to try to I was talking to companies that would mass 3D manufacture them. Because no big scale manufacturer could do it without, making molds. If you made a mold, the technology wouldn't work the way it was supposed to work. So I was going to get it outsourced by like some big company with a lot of 3D printers, and just get them printed one by one. I had a company that was going to make them the boxes and I was just going to ship them out. So that was a goal. It would have taken a few months, but.
You mentioned these business values. What are your business values?
What do you mean?
You mentioned integrity. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have ran away with the money.
Yeah, because
so you know what? I'm assuming you have other ones. What other values are in FISMA?
I feel like honesty in business is a huge thing because you've heard. It was buffering, but okay. So honesty, I feel like is huge itself. And along with that, it's like we're in the people business of customer support and making people happy and, growing their businesses. So continuous relationships, I feel like matter as well. Not even if it's not with myself, with the business, for them to have a good attachment, it leads to referrals, keeping them happy. But I feel like, there are probably a few more, but these are my biggest points, which it's in our company culture. Anybody that works for me, I'm like, don't ever sell anything that you can't over deliver on, ever. If anybody's worked for me and they're watching this, they know damn well that's the first thing I teach them. I'm like, customer first, making them happy is first priority. even if we don't turn a profit for it.
And you mentioned like your dad being one of your inspirations to getting into business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he used to be a stock trader. He worked on Wall Street. Then he moved into business. You know, it was hard for a few years. We had a very small. We literally lived across a garbage dump. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, this was our house, and this was a garbage dump. Like, it was literal. Like, not even exact. I'm gonna go back and get a picture if I can. It's like an hour or something away now from where I live now. But yeah, so he went through some hard times, and being young, I didn't realize it. But he always kept us happy. He always worked hard, and I saw him. He never worked for anybody. He'd be like out of money, and he still never worked for anybody because he just had that. And he's always been honest with his customers as well. So I feel like my parents really did have a big impact on me of being honest. My dad was like, it doesn't matter how poor you are. Don't ever take advantage of somebody, take your money, because it's never going to last. Like, you've seen Jet Set Fly. I don't know how long they thought they were going to last. Like, you're scamming people. Like,
Really?
You can't leave legacy on scamming.
What happened there for me? I know who that person is, but I'm sure other people don't.
Yeah, they were taking people's money and not giving them what they promised, and it happened so many times. One guy, he had, I guess, a big network. He got scammed. He was like, "This is it," and he went ape shit online, blowing them up, and everybody started coming out with stories. Me too. He did that to me too. Now they have so many cases, so many people trying to sue them. They just pretty much have gone like offline.
God, and there's these Instagram guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There's a lot of people that do this stuff that they get exposed over time.
Yeah, the truth will come out, right?
Yeah.
Cool, man. I want to get into like some of the marketing stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where is your bread? I know you're a full service agency, but where is your bread and butter?
See, Ronnie, this is like, nitpick stuff. I don't know if I want to say anything, but like my universal answer would be, I have a very targeted audience base, mm-hmm. and we provide value to exactly what they need, and then we move on. We don't go, hey, we can do everything for you. Give me everything you have. We go, hey, we see you need this done. Let's get this done. We do amazing service. We deliver something awesome that they don't even expect. It's way better than they thought it would be. And they're like, shit. Number one, they have referrals for their friends. Number two, they're like, hey, could you also do this? And we're like, yeah, we also do that. So,
sure, man. And we don't have to go like, you don't have to sell the farm. Like, you don't have to give everything, but like someone who wants to at least get some traction, I think you can help out that much.
It depends. See, it's like a lot of people, like, honestly, this is weird. Like, it might sound like counterintuitive for me saying it, but you really want to niche down. And that's why I have the real estate agency, because then you have a really targeted audience. You're just not going for all businesses, in every industry, because that's a lot of people. You might think, the more people I have access to, the better. No, because just no, you don't try to go sell an extra large shirt to skinny people, to huge people. It just doesn't work. Try to sell a small shirt to a small fitted person, and you're gonna get more customers faster because it's tailored for them. That's what we did with the real estate agency, and that's a cool way of doing it, which a lot of people don't do. We had a full service agency, and then we had a niche down agency, and we pulled in niche down customers and used their referrals and sent them to our full service agency. A lot of people will hear this and try to do it. It's a lot harder than it sounds, but it works. You just got to stick with it.
How did you figure out real estate was your niche? I think that's a huge thing that people struggle with. Like,
we had a customer come through our like at the time when we were only doing full service, and they wanted to get a real estate website made. My developers worked on it, and then we got into licensing a program, and now we have our own software that gets real estate agents, like, it's a CRM system for them. So it helps them track leads, get more leads, and just do better overall. They referred people more and more. It's just referrals. Like, when you have honest and good work, referrals just take you from 0 to 100. Like,
so you followed the referrals. You had a ton of referrals coming in for this, and you're like, okay, we're on to something here.
Like, referrals are our number one source of clients.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like,
no marketing.
We don't do marketing. We tried them. I mean, it works all right, but referrals just work better than anything else. And I was talking to some of the speakers at the convention we were at in New York. They were like, all my referrals, all the businesses through referrals, we haven't run ads ever, even though we're an ads agency. And I'm like, damn. They're like, yeah, they're like, just, we're looking into, running ads soon, but just imagine how crazy it'd be if we actually ran ads. And I was like, I felt that.
Got it. So you're saying you and all the other speakers you're talking to, same thing.
Same thing. Like, a lot of, big scale agencies are just literal all referrals, because then they attract. It's not like you're not shooting shots in the dark. Even if you have targeting on right, somebody who refers somebody, it's to have that personal connection. So you don't have to sell them all the way because they already seen their friends' business or their colleagues' business, grow and flourish, and they're like, I want to do that too.
Do you have like a referral strategy in place, or at least, or nothing at all?
No, it's just they're like, hey, my client just hit me up yesterday as well. They're like, hey, my friend loves our website. You think you could do one for hers? I'm like, yeah, we could do it. They're like, my clients. I had a friend. I was showing him how well our ads were converting. He wants the exact same strategy on his thing. You think you could copy and paste it and optimize it for his website? And I was like, yeah, we could get that done. So it's
Wow.
happy customers.
It's that simple.
It's not that simple. I mean, it sounds simple, but we both know
it's not easy, but it's simple. That's what
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple. No, for sure, man. Do you have like KPIs in your business, right? Because referral is pretty organic. So how can you say you're trying to hit X amount of dollars per month when it's so organic? Like, I feel like that's passive.
So the way we find customers is our sales strategy, meaning like, might have a sales team, they go and get customers through our strategy. That's one. And then the other is referrals, but we don't do ads, or we don't focus on ads is a better way to say it. We do ads for, brand awareness and reach, but we don't use ads as hey, we need to run ads to get customers. They're referral based, they're audit based, and et cetera, stuff like that. And through that, it's like, we want to have this many X amount of clients. If it's not coming through referrals, we're focusing on the sales team, pushing harder, hitting up more people, finding more outlets to expand through.
What's your like step-by-step process to essentially ensure like a happy customer? I'm sure you have.
I think I mentioned it. Yeah, so we do. It's as long as we set clear, solid, easy to understand expectations at the beginning, the client knows what to expect. Because if you promise them something, that's where they're going to set their bar. And a lot of people don't realize it. They think you have to promise up here. No, really, even if you promise to like down here and you deliver right here, the client's going to be happy because they got what they paid for. What most people are doing is promising something that's awesome, thinking the client just wants that. And then they're delivering right here, and they're like confused on why the client has fired them or doesn't want to work with them anymore. So
interesting. Yeah. Okay. So it's just under promising every single time.
And sometimes we give numbers to the client. They're like, really? I thought you guys could do more. And I look at them like, we can. It's just I want to make sure we both surpass the number. And they're like, let's get started. Like, would you not want, for example, if you're buying a car, and you get told the price is $15,000, you mentally prepare yourself for a $15,000 car, and you come in, they're like, we were fucking with you, it's 10 grand. You're like, shit, really?
Swipe my card.
Exactly. Versus you mentally preparing yourself for 20, and they're like, ha ha ha, we added the taxes, now it's 30. And you're like, why? That's exactly what agencies are doing. And what we're doing is we're saying it's 15, they come in, and we're like, haha, it was 10. And they're like, shit, we just saved 5 grand. We got the car we wanted. That's a cool analogy to look at it as.
And that number per se comes with experience, right? As you keep doing accounts, like you start seeing the different metrics and what you can and can't get.
In the beginning, you should not charge. If you're going to charge in the beginning, you're not going to get results because, number one, you're not going to be confident in your ability to deliver results. And if you're not confident in what you're trying to sell, nobody's going to be happy.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, you say that in the service industry, right? But when you get into a business that isn't the service industry, you can't do something for free. Like if you're flipping things or
you can do almost free or amazing value. We have a lot of e-commerce stores, which I don't talk about. Like I've come out as owning Fizma, but my age is still young. Yes, I don't see it as a barrier anymore, but I'm slowly going to tell the world all the stuff I've done as it builds up. But one thing is, we mentioned I have a 100 million follower network. We personally own a lot of those accounts. And through those accounts, we have a cool strategy. I talked about this on the Agency Life podcast. Pretty much, we build the account up. We have a targeted audience after building that account. We clone the audience, and we build e-commerce stores around that. So that's a tangible product, right? Mm-hmm. We sell the tangible products in monthly subscriptions. That's the model I personally like. But we give the product for free, and we just charge shipping. And shipping is usually $7, $8. And that covers our cost of actually shipping and the product itself. So in a sense, to their head, they're getting a free product for 1 month. And then we give them an option to try it. And like I said, to go back to our initial values of all the stuff I do, honest, valuable things, they love the product. And then they have no issue with paying for it.
Can you give me an example of the product part? Not the cloning part. Like I get that part, but like I'm trying to wrap my head around like an $8 shipping model. Yeah.
I'm trying to see because I don't want to give too much because we have some winning products that we're using before. I don't want to have like 25
ideas
I'm
are
gonna
weak.
pull up like an old example that we've done.
Okay.
Like, I'm just looking at our content.
We both understand that there's a massive amount of action that needs to go into starting anything.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So we did this ink tire Shopify store, right? I partnered with a few people. I always do this. I believe in my brand. So even if I sell off a store, which I post a lot of my story, you guys, I'm selling or I want to partner, I always keep equity because I believe it's going to work. Back to the no scam shit, you know?
Yeah.
I believe it's going to work. So I keep equity. With that, our offer was, you know, sell one, get one free. And then we knew they needed to buy 4 to do all their tires. It's one of those pens you color on the tires. You know, you have a sports car, you want to tire lettering.
Yeah.
So we know they need to buy 4. We give them 1 free. They try it out and they're like, oh, I like this. But now they want to complete all their tires. So then they go and buy it.
Got it. But how is that a subscription model? You only do that once.
I was told that it runs off after.
Oh.
Because it's like it'll last you the soap and stuff. Yes, they're waterproof. They work. They'll go through a few car washes, but over time, it's just paint. It's gonna come off. Once it comes off, they gotta buy some more.
Got it. No, that was a great example, man. Yeah, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is Instagram? I know you've kind of like mentioned this. Instagram's dying, the organic, but that's been like your bread and butter. Like, what are you doing now?
We have a huge TikTok content creation team, so I'm not even worried. I started it early, and I got kids. I'm like, I'm gonna make you go viral. Just work with me. I'm like, okay. Like, they have nothing to lose. I didn't ask them for money. I didn't ask them for anything. I just said, work with me, and I'll make you go viral. I'm like, for sure. So I use the same strategies. I feel like all the social media platforms have the same algorithm in the sense. Something is performing well. They give it more engagement because it's gonna bring in like more people. They're gonna watch it. They're gonna engage. People on the platform they're using it are happy. Content creators happy. Everybody wins. Same, method, same rules applied in a sense. So we did that. We grew their accounts. I learned two major things. One being TikTok is a majority Asian platform, and that's the first. And the second being, no, dude, like Asia, like the United States is not the dominant. This is what I saw. Okay, and the second being, United States products cost more than products in Asia. So it's hard to make a sale. So I'm not focusing on it for B2C if you're in the United States. Now, if you're in Asia and you're based in Asia and you're charging Asian prices, take your go at it. But at this point, unless you want to do it for clout and viral aspect of it and the brand building aspect, don't try to do it for the aspect of making a sale. Do it for the branding aspect.
So, I mean, the social strategy sounds pretty similar to what you did before. So it's like either find or make a page with high traffic and then leverage that audience to make revenue.
Yeah,
right?
It works.
Yeah. So,
but it takes a long time.
It definitely does. So
you just gotta stick with it.
So you mentioned the brand building part, but for someone trying to get into marketing or business, is that really beneficial for your personal brand to be on TikTok?
So when I mentioned that, what I mean is personal brand, yes. Because look, I saw Gary Vee video today and I was like, damn, it made sense. Some people's like, Gary Vee, you're not afraid of Instagram, the engagement's going down. Are you not afraid of it completely being non-existent? And he's like, y'all know my name damn well. Whether it's on TikTok, it's our new platform. If everything gets shut down, the new platform that comes out, you're going to go on there and search up Gary Vee. Because my name is instilled in you. It's not anything else. I have a social image. And you guys are going to find it anywhere, somehow. So it's the aspect of being omnipresent, being on LinkedIn, being on TikTok, being on YouTube, Instagram. So people just remember your name. So whatever new platform comes out, they're looking for your name first.
Yeah, I agree with the omnipresence thing, but I guess like I'm thinking, do you go where your audience is? Because TikTok is mainly kids.
Mm-hmm. So for me, it's not, I don't go where my audience is. I go somewhere and then tell my audience to come follow. Because if I keep going where my audience is, the audience doesn't know where they want to be. For example, like companies will throw a festival or a parade or whatever you want to call it in a certain area. They don't just go throw it where the kids are. They throw it somewhere and the kids follow, because they don't know what they want until you show them.
That's profound. I like that. All right, so
for sure, it's been a while.
Yeah, bro. I'm coming to Atlanta. All right, on that same like notion, dude. Where would you go right now that most people aren't? Or I guess what's stopping you from just going on any random platform and saying, "Hey, come here," right? If we're gonna build on what you just said.
I'm focusing on my agency right now. As I mentioned, my long-term goal is 10 years to have my own platform. So I'm gonna go build my own platform. It's going to be huge. I don't even know how fully I'm going to do it. It's just, I'm going to figure it out as I go, because that's the best way to do it. If I were to sit here and plan, one thing wouldn't work with the plan. My whole plan would be gone. And anybody who's done business at like even a medium scale understood exactly what I meant when I said that. But you just got to wait to see where it goes.
You're saying imperfect action is better than no action.
Mm-hmm.
Or perfect inaction, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people just sit there planning. It's like if your plan is from point A to point B, then point B to point C, and then from point C you're gonna go to point D, right? What's legitimately gonna happen in business? From point A you're gonna go to point B, and then you're gonna realize from point B you have to go to like 5 other points to get to point C, and you're gonna be like, shit, the whole plan I spent years making doesn't even apply anymore.
Yeah, and on that notion, like when you're trying to build out, let's just go back to social. When you're trying to build out a social strategy and all these things are happening, or when you're building out a social strategy, are you not thinking like, oh crap, what if this entire strategy dies tomorrow?
I tried. Like, you just got to go at it. Because, I don't know, that necessarily doesn't happen. What could happen is, so a really good example, a lot of people started social media growth agencies, and all they were doing is they had a bot, and they kept putting people on their bot, and they're making a crazy amount of money. Instagram algorithm like fucked them over, and the whole strategy is gone. So all the businesses got shut down because all they knew how to do was growth. So it's like having your eggs in multiple baskets, not just one basket, because that could have ended us in our social media, like ventures, I guess. But we understood that we need to diversify. We started content creation ourselves. We started a few accounts that were not even automated at all, no unfollow, follow, just complete content, and those are the accounts that are flourishing now.
Nice, the all organic. Yep.
Organic, yeah.
Yep.
But organic reach is also dying, so I don't know. I mean, like we're used to gain like on some accounts, because I have a few accounts on my phone that I personally like, and I watch them grow and I look at their stuff. The one of the accounts was growing like 5,000-6,000 followers a day, and it dropped down to 1,000 followers a day now. It's still 1,000 followers a day. We're gonna hit 50K in a month or two. It's still growing.
Yeah, just a lot slower.
Mm-hmm. And then the accounts with over 1 million, they're suffering, man. Like nobody's seeing our posts. Like they don't show anybody our posts unless we promote them. And the second we promote them, I don't know what it's based upon, but if we promote a post on a certain account, that account's engagement goes down even more, because unless we're promoting them, nobody's seeing them. And Instagram, I guess, is just trying to profit off that at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the marketer's dilemma where we're all relying on these big platforms, and when they come short,
that always happens. The circle, yeah. It's like email worked amazing, and then everybody overused it, and now everybody doesn't even read their emails. But then in this circle, I was talking to some guy. He thought he was a genius, and I think he's a genius to come back to think about it now. He's like, you know how I'm making all my business? I'm like, how? He said, I sent physical postcards. I said, what? And he goes, back in the day when he's like, before you were even born, I'm like, shit. He's like, somebody got an email over a letter. They were like, oh my God, I got an email. And they opened it. They valued it as such a cool thing. Now everybody gets emails. But now somebody gets a letter, they're not used to it. They're like, oh my God, I got a physical handwritten letter. And they value it a different way. They give a certain amount of attention to it. So it goes in a circle.
Sure.
Something's overused now. Social media is becoming overused for people trying to build brands and everything. So now we're going on different platforms. it's going to change. It always happens. Whoever adapts and, moves with it to adapt to that change will win ultimately.
Mm-hmm. At what point do you drop what you're doing currently and just going on to the next thing? Do you ever do that fully, or do you kind of test it out and then move?
You slow, I guess some people would just jump into the pool, but you dip your toes in and you slowly you transfer off. You go like this versus just ending one and just slowly transition.
Yeah, for our listeners, bro, they have no idea what you just did.
Oh, for real? Oh, is it not a video podcast?
Well, podcast is going to be audio. There's going to be both. It's going to be on YouTube and audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you got it, but
it was a teeter-totter motion. Like one hand went up and the other went down. I'm messing with you, bro. That's hilarious. One thing that I wanted to ask you about, man, like I'm building out a team right now.
Okay.
You obviously are ahead by having an office. What was what was that first step of
what, building out the team?
Yeah. Like who did you hire first? What did you make sure that you had prepared for them? Like
at first, honestly, I hired my friends, which was a major mistake. No, major mistake, because friends in business don't leave as friends. It gets hard. Like
walk me through the lessons, bro. You seem like you got lessons.
Yeah, if you have a best friend and you do everything with them and you bring them in your business, first it's going to be fun and games, and then you're going to have tension because the business is not working, and then you're going to start blaming it on each other. And at that point, you're going to leave. Somebody's going to leave, and then not only you're not friends anymore, your business also suffered. So that's one of the hard knock rules of business. Never get your friends involved. Keep friendships outside of business.
I would actually disagree here.
Really?
Only from I worked with a close mentor.
Okay.
And that business didn't go the way we wanted, and we had a lot of tense moments, but like now we're still tight homies. And on top of that, I'm currently working with two of my best friends.
Props to you on that.
No, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
I wasn't able to pull it off because when it came to like payroll and I couldn't make it, I'd overextend ourselves. And this is the real life shit of business. Nobody talks about this. This is not the overnight success shit. This is, I couldn't make payroll and I'd never even paid myself to begin with. And I'm forced to pay my friends and I can't pay them and they can't pay their bills. And it's just hard because I don't want to fire them because they're my friend. It's hard.
What did you do in that situation when you couldn't make payroll? Like, cause I do want to talk about shit like this. This is that real shit.
Like hard shit. And some of the listeners are, some of my old best friends that I spend every day with. And I didn't think, I wouldn't spend every day with them now. And they had we had to part ways, but I paid them everything I could. And I told them, stick with me. Just trust me. I'm going to make it one day. I'm going to do it. And then nobody stuck with me. Nobody. And now I'm offering, $50,000 salaries. We just hired somebody full-time, like 55. Now I can afford that. But the only person that's going to ride it through are the co-founders or entrepreneurs themselves, because that's what differentiates you. Like, it didn't make sense for me to spend so much time and lose so much money and not make any money when everybody else had jobs and they're like, yo, I just made $1,000 this month working at Taco Bell or wherever the hell they were working. And they just looked at me like, you haven't hung out with us in weeks and you don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a different scenario. Now I pay them more, my employees get more than their parents are making. It's a time game, commitment game.
Yeah, for sure. And you've mentioned to me in person when we were talking, like you wanting to break away from your friends. Like I know a lot of people listening aren't sure if they're in that position and if they should. Like I really give props to you because you were able to make it still hanging out with your friends, right?
It's complicated because even at this point, I need to surround myself with more people like-minded people. Like when we were all in New York together, those few days I had so much fun, and I don't think I've ever been so productive in my life. I came back and I was like on some next level cloud shit. And I know we all felt the same way because we were all chatting in the group chat, like getting new ideas, new businesses launched. We're all interacting. Imagine if I did that every day. Like, fuck 6 figures a month. I'd be at 7 figures a month. Like, it's just, I need to surround myself with better people. And anybody listening, I'm friends with you. If I'm talking to you, you don't apply. Like, just know that. But if you have to move yourself out because you're leveling up, you're always growing. Don't try to hold yourself back just because you've been friends with them for a long time. it doesn't make sense. You're going to grow. They're going to grow. You need to make yourself a priority and focus on your future over hurting someone's feelings short term. Like,
so where are you at with that right now?
between. But then again, I was talking to another speaker in New York, and I was like, "How do I do it?" And he said, "Slowly. You start spending less and less time with the toxic or the non-like-minded individuals, because at one point you were probably like-minded, and then one of the persons grew out of it, right? So now you need to surround yourself with a few people that are way above you, but you still have to offer them value in some form, because otherwise they wouldn't want to hang out with you, and they do exactly what you're doing to your old friends. You need to hang out with people on the same level, and maybe a few people that are underneath you for gratitude, to humble yourself, to feel good. And at the moment, I feel like I'm spending majority of my time with people that I've surpassed, and I'm trying to help them come up. I'm pulling them up, like, come on, I'm going to help you out. You need to come up with me, level up with me. But they're just not ready, or they're not with the same mindset, and they're just wasting my time. Where I could be spending the way I talked about how I need to spend some time with people better, equal, and then a few people that are underneath to bring them up.
Did you ever have a mentor?
Yeah. Quora was where I found a few of my mentors, and I have so much respect toward them. Faisal Harani is one of them. I've never met him in person. He's in Malaysia. I think he has a web design agency. We don't talk so much now, but without his help, I would have never gotten ever sent to where it is, and I would have never even started Fizma and gotten to the point where it is. I'm going to reach out to him now that I remember, but him, okay. Gordon Miller was a huge help to me. He put me in my place when nobody else would. Everybody else was being nice to me. It's going to work. Your idea is amazing. And he was like, your idea is shit, dude. It's not going to work. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I'm going to change it a little bit, to the point where it's more viable, and I want to prove him wrong. And then it's just, a mentor pushes you to do things that you wouldn't even think to do. So, and a good mentor doesn't even realize they're your mentor. They're just giving you free value. And that's what I aspire to be for a lot of the people that I'm trying to help. I have a lot of people I go to lunch with weekly. I try to inspire them, help them be somewhere where I wish somebody would have been in my position, or be somebody like Faisal or Gordon, or for me.
Amazing, dude. Yeah. I'm a very heavy enthusiast behind mentors too. I have a mentee, and I have many mentors. Completely life-changing, and
I should mention, so there's this new program coming out. I'm gonna plug him up. I love the guy. It's called Hive Mentor. It's not out yet, so don't even bother and try and look for it. But it'd be awesome if you could come on with me, Ronnie. But it's gonna be a platform where mentees can just join for a one-time price, and you get access to mentors like us and our videos or whatever, all of our stuff in one place. So I'm looking forward to that launching. All the people I'm mentoring as well, all my mentees, it'd be a lot easier for me and for them, because I give them constant support and attention through a platform versus having to take time out of my day meeting them, which I can't do necessarily all the time.
So this is interesting. One, I'm interested to talk about it when it comes up. Two, does receiving payment for mentorship take away from mentorship?
We don't get the money. So the money is they're still working it out. It's a new platform, but I'm trying to get them to lower the rates for younger kids. Like anybody under 18, anybody under 25, as long as they show they're in school or doing something, of value, it should be almost free or really cheap. And the money for them goes toward funding the portals or getting them the resources. So it's like, I personally don't sell any courses because I don't believe in them, but there's a lot of people selling $1,000 courses, and I think get them for free, or you'll get it. Like you get the value you get it surpasses the monetary amount.
Mm-hmm. How did you find your mentors, by the way?
I don't know. I think I was involved in their content, and I reached out to ask them a question, and they responded, and we started talking. And a tip for anybody looking to find a mentor: don't go to your mentor and be all needy. Like, ask them valuable questions. Don't waste their time. Because I have people in my DMs, yet I still help them. Dude, they want me to there's people asking me to buy their product. They're like, can you help me out and buy this for me because I can't sell it? And I'm like, that's not going to help you. Like, it's not going to help you. Me buying is not teaching you anything. So don't ask questions like that. But people come and ask me, hey, I'm doing this and this. What do you suggest, or what did you do? I'm also aspiring to do this and this. And I love helping those people because they're in a position that I was in and they just need this one step that I also did, but I'm going to help them find it faster.
For sure. So out of the people that you've helped mentor, I'm sure there's like a fork, right? Where it started with potential, you saw potential, and then there's people that you stopped helping, and then people that you're still helping today. What was the difference?
People that stopped helping were asking me to pretty much do shit for them, buy stuff off of them. Pretty much they just wanted an easy way out. The people that I still help today have this great, I see something in them. I'm like, I don't care if these people aren't successful themselves. I want them to learn the lesson, and I'm going to work with them because they have it. They have what it takes. And an entrepreneur that's done it, you can see by the way somebody talks, by the way somebody acts, the way somebody presents themselves to others, they're going to be successful or not. Like I talk to all these gurus, literally, like I'm doing quotation marks for everybody listening, gurus, and they claim to be doing, like they're master of all trades. I do Forex, I do marketing, I do construction, I do house flipping. I'm a real estate professional. I also do car flipping. And I'm like, which one are you best at? I'm like, all of them. I'm like, damn, how much money do you make? More than you can even imagine. And I'm like, okay, nice talking to you. Like, and I'm like, and then it's like, they're not even asking for help. They're just trying to flex on me. I don't even know what they want from me. So don't do that. Please don't do that, because that shows a real entrepreneur that you're not legit. It's not, fake until you make it. It's fake until everybody realizes you're fake.
Yeah, one thing I've realized as well is when a mentor gives you advice, that's them betting on you, whether it seems like it or not. And so show up, like be considerate, take action. I think that's the missing other part.
I agree with that.
I've helped a lot of people and they don't do anything with it.
And it's just like you wasted my time by me trying to help you. I wanted to see you succeed, but I guess you didn't want to succeed. That's how I feel sometimes. But hey, that's what differentiates real entrepreneurs and people that want to be entrepreneurs.
Last question, man. I think there's a difference between ambition and drive. Okay. So like ambition's like all these dreams and aspirations. Drive is like, I will fucking do anything to get it. Did you always have this drive?
Dude, there's days where I give up, not give up literally, but I'm just so alone mentally. I'm so alone because I have a dream that, yes, my parents support me, but because they love me, it's even, they don't even see it happening. Literally, nobody's going to support your dream or physically see it. Nobody's going to protect your dream if you don't protect it. So that's all I have sometimes. I just have a dream. And there's nobody there supporting me. I have, lost friends because I'm focused on the business. I've lost partners, relationships, suffered everything because I had this dream and I protected it by all costs, and sometimes that's all you're left with. And I think drive comes from that. It comes from, if I don't do this, not only do I look stupid, I have nothing. I mean nothing. I stand for nothing. And that pushes me. And then usually days like that come. And then after a few days, you're on top of your game. You're like, I stuck with it. Something amazing happened, and it propels you to the next time. And then this happens again. It's a cycle. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs face it.
For sure, man. Thanks so much.
No, for sure. It was a fun session. Talking about stuff like this, gets you thinking and realize and reminds you of things that you haven't even thought about in a long time. So it's a new learning experience, talking to other people, trying to help them as well. It's awesome.
Dope, dude. Yeah, that's the whole point of the podcast, bro. Share value.
Awesome.